Welcome to Calcutta Races Winter Meeting, second day, Saturday, 11th January 2020 race preview. The first race will be the Adelita Handicap to be run over a distance of 2,400 meters for horses in Class 5. Looking at number 1, Yuvan Arazan out of Accessorize. Last outing being this season in race number 59 over 2,000 meters, where Yuvan travelled 7th till it turned for home out of 9 runners and dropped back 1 place and eventually finished on 8th after much efforts. And the winner of that race was Beatrix, who came out and won that race by 3/4 of a length. Number 2, we're looking at Prince of Heart. Prince of Heart's last outing was this season in race number 58 over a mile, where Prince of Heart travelled 2nd till it turned for home and then gradually dropped back and finished on 6th. Also in the same race, we had number 6, that is Porus, who finished on 7th. Number 8, Winner's Delight, who finished on 2nd, 2 3/4 lengths behind the winner, that is Hudson. And also in the same race, we had number 9, Havana Grey, who finished on 8th. Number 3, we're looking at Ajita. Win legend or something about her. 2 starts this season. First outing finished on 4th over a mile. Last outing was pretty impressive, over 2,000 meters in race number 57, where Ajita travelled 2nd till it turned for home and remained in that spot after much efforts. Also in the same race, we had number 4, Kul Conqueror, who finished on 6th, and number 5, Caledonia, who finished on 4th. But the eventual winner of that race was Prince of Heart. Number 7, we are looking at Bambini Festa. Bambini Festa has had 5 starts this season, finished off the board in all its 5 starts. Last outing being in race number 65 over 1,400 meters, where Bambini Festa, after much efforts, finished on 12th out of 14 runners. Practically no show there by Bambini Festa, and the winner of that race was Glendow. We move on to the second race, which is the Goodfellas Handicap to be run over a distance of the metric mile. That's 1,600 meters. Number 1 will be Midnight Phantom. Midnight Phantom's had 3 starts this season, finished off the board in all 3 starts. Last outing being over the distance of 2,400 meters in race number 63, where Midnight Phantom travelled 4th till it turned for home and then eventually dropped back and finished right at the back end to finish on 8th out of 8 runners. Winner was Kaiden. Number 2, we're looking at the Straddle. The Straddle's last outing was over 1,200 meters in race number 62, where the Straddle travelled 8th till it turned for home, gained 1 place, and finished on 7th out of 8 runners. Winner of that race is Gorish, its stablemate. Number 3, we're looking at Bojangles. Win legend at a moment of the day. 2 starts this season. Finished 5th in both its outings. Last outing being over the metric mile in race number 37, where Bojangles finished on 5th after much efforts. Also in the same race, we had number 5, Dancing Lord, who was the eventual winner. Came up with a real rattle down in the centre and went on to win that impressively by 3 1/4 lengths by beating Saber Jet. Number 4 will be Glorious Leaps. Glorious Leaps has had 5 starts this season, finished 3rd in its first start, then came out and won its next start over 1,400 meters. Last start in race number 67 over the same distance of 1,400 meters. Glorious Leaps travelled 7th till it turned for home and then gradually gained places on the inside and finished on 2nd, 4.5 lengths behind the winner. That was Incendio. We move on to the third race, which is the Sunray Handicap to be run over a distance of 1600 meters. Number 1 will be Eastern Crown. Eastern Crown's had 2 starts this season, finished second in its first start over 1600 meters, last outing over 2000 meters in race number 44. Eastern Crown, after much efforts, finished on 4th out of 7 runners. Winner of that race was the runaway winner that day, that is Kaiden, won it by 5 1/4 lengths. Number 2 will be Zyle, the late rather tippy. 2 starts this season, won its first start here in Calcutta over 1600 meters in race number 28. Last outing was pretty poor, over 1400 meters in race number 50, where Zyle travelled 5th out of 13 runners till it turned for home, and then gradually dropped back and finished on 7th out of 13, and the winner of that race was Modification. Also in the same race, we had number 3, Bang Bang, who finished on a good second. Also number 6, that is Sharavati, who finished one behind to finish on 3rd, and number 8, that is Fabiola, who finished on 6th. Number 4, we're looking at Supernormal. Supernormal's 2 starts this season, finished on 4th in its first start. Last out, finished on 3rd over 1600 meters in race number 51. Also in the same race, we had number 5, Artist Royal, who finished on 5th, and the winner of that race was Nandish, who was just too good that day, won it by 9 1/4 lengths. Number 7 will be Abhyagama. Abhyagama's last outing was in the 2000 Guineas this season in race number 42 over 1600 meters, where Abhyagama led till the distance post and then eventually was overtaken on the outside by a few runners, and Abhyagama settled for 4th spot out of 4 runners. The winner of that race was Tennis Shaw. Number 9, we're looking at Star of Hollywood. Star of Hollywood's had 3 starts this season, finished second in its first 2 starts. Last outing was over 2,000 meters in race number 59, where the Star of Hollywood led till the distance post and eventually faded back and finished on 5th out of 9 runners. Winner of that race was Beatrix. We move on to the 4th race, which is the Robin Hood Handicap, to be ridden by jockeys of Indian nationality and no whip race, to be run over a distance of 1200 meters. Number 1 will be the Coup de Gras. Coup de Gras had 3 starts this season, finished off the board in all 3 starts. Last outing being in race number 30 over 1400 meters, where Coup de Gras travelled second till it turned for home and then gradually faded back and finished on 7th out of 7 runners. And the winner of that race was Kantai. Number 2, we're looking at Dilmange Mo. Dilmange Mo's last outing was over 1100 meters in race number 64, where Dilmange Mo led till the distance post till it got challenged on the outside. And Dilmange Mo settled for 3rd spot eventually, and the winner of that race was Valorous Thal. Number 3 will be Arakawa. Arakawa's last outing was over 1400 meters this season in race number 52, where Arakawa practically had no show to play and finished on 11th out of 13 runners. Winner of that race was Top Notch, came up with a strong run down in the center and went on to win that race by a nose. Number 4, we're looking at Luminac. Luminac's had 3 starts this season, last outing being pretty impressive in race number 62 over 1200 meters, where Luminac travelled 7th till it turned firm and then gradually shifted outward and travelled very wide of the track in the final stage of the race and finished on a late second. There was Luminac, 1 length behind the winner. That was Gorish. Also in the same race, we had number 7, Appalachi, who finished towards the tail end to finish on 8th out of 8 runners. Number 5, we're looking at Ruby Cube. Ruby Cube's had two starts this season. Won its first start over 1100 meters in race number 16. Last start was a bit unlucky in race number 47, where Ruby Cube traveled 6 till it turned firm, gradually gained places, but came up with a late dash and finished a length and a 3/4 lengths behind the winner. That was tough enough. Number 6, we're looking at East Side. 3 starts this season. First start was a winner over 1400 meters in race number 25. Last 2 starts finished on 4th in both its outings. Last one being in race number 101 over 1400 meters, as I mentioned, where the winner was Aftershock, and East Side finished on 4th. We move on to the 5th race, which is the Bookmakers Association Cup for maiden horses 3 years old only, to be run over a distance of 1400 meters. Number 2 will be Dothraki. Top class out of Silvana. One start this season in race number 60 over 1400 meters, where Dothraki travelled 4th until it turned firm, gradually faded back, and finished on 7th out of 9 runners. Winner of that race was Namiki. Number 4 will be Santana. Santana's had one start this season in race number 46 over 1200 meters, where Santana travelled right at the back end, 10th till it turned for home out of 11 runners, and gradually gained places and finished on 5th was Santana. Also in the same race we had number 6 Krisha's Choice, who finished on 1 ahead to finish on 4th, but the eventual winner of that race was Silver Bracelet. An impressive winner that day, got it by 3 lengths. We move on to the 6th race, which is the Madras Race Club Cup, to be run over a distance of 1200 meters for horses in Class 1. Number 1 will be Denny Crane. One start this season in race number 41 over 1200 meters, where Denny Crane travelled 6th till it turned for home, gradually dropped back and finished on 9th out of 11 runners. Also in the same race, we had number 2 Brainstorm, who finished on 4th, and number 5 Southpaw, who finished on 8th, one ahead of Denny Crane, and the winner of that race was St. Andrews. Number 4, we are looking at Castle Bridge. Castle Bridge is 3 starts this season. Finished on 5th in its first start. Next start was pretty impressive. Went down by a short head. Ran 2nd over 1200 meters. And last start was pretty unimpressive. Quite a poor run by Castle Bridge in race number 61. Finished on 8th out of 8 runners. Winner was Multitude. Number 6 will be Perpetual Winning. One start this season in race number 25 over 1200 meters. Net whiz out of Perpetual Glory is Perpetual Winning. An impressive start to the season. Actually led till the distance post and gave a tough fight towards the rail side with Perpetual Winning, but eventually got beat by a length and a half to the winner, that was Capricious. Number 7 will be Lesrel, Mason out of Takamara. And Lesrel's 2 starts the season, finished on 4th in its first start over 1200 meters. Last start was over 1100 meters in race number 68 this season. And what a start that was by Lesrel. Travelled 2nd till it turned for home, and then it gradually took over the running and just blew the field away and went on to win it by 4 lengths. We move on to the 7th and last race of the day, which is the Fire Flash Handicap, to be run over a distance of 1100 meters. Number 1 will be Stellanova. Stellanova's last outing was the season over 1200 meters in race number 72, where Stellanova actually travelled 8th till it turned for home, gradually gained places towards the centre of the track and shifted outward in the final stages, but managed to finish on 2nd, 4.5 lengths behind the winner. That was too good that day. That was Namakalal. Also in the same race, we had number 8 Miami, who finished on 9th, and number 11, that is Uncrowned King, who finished on 10th. Number 2 will be Airlift. Airlift's last outing was in race number 116 in the monsoon meeting over 1600 meters, where Airlift travelled 4th till it turned for home and then dropped back and finished on 7th out of 7 runners. Winner of that race was Bojangles, who got that by half a length. Number 3, we're looking at Stelvio Pass. Stelvio Pass's last outing was over 1100 meters in race number 49 this season. Stelvio Pass travelled 2nd till it turned for home and then dropped back and finished on 4th. Also in the same race, we had number 4, Moskova, who eventually took over the running and tried to make it a pillar-to-post victory, but eventually got beat, was Moskova, and settled for 3rd spot. Also in the same race, we had number 9, Guitar Girl, who finished right at the back end to finish on 9th out of 11 runners, but the eventual winner of that race was Bacardi. Number 5 will be Taradin. Taradin's had one start this season in race number 39 over 1200 meters, with Taradin had practically no show to play and finished on 9th out of 12 runners. Winner of that race was Beat the Bank, who went on to win it by 1.5 lengths. Number 6 will be Tiburon. Tiburon's last outing was over 1100 meters in race number 32, where Tiburon, after much efforts, finished on 7th, and the winner of that race was Tia Queen. Number 7 will be Pixel. Pixel's had one start this season in race number 71 over 1200 meters, where Pixel travelled 7th all the way and then eventually finished on 8th after much efforts. Winner of that race was Shivai. Number 10, we are looking at Leopard Creek. Leopard Creek's last outing was in race number 66 this season over 1400 meters, where Leopard Creek finished on 10th out of 13 runners. And the winner of that race was Simply Soaring, who came up with a real rattle on the stand side and went on to win that race by half a length. Number 12 will be Swanlight. 2 starts this season. Won its first start over 1100 meters. Last start went over the trip of 1400 meters, where Swanlight travelled 3rd till it turned for home and then gradually dropped back and finished right at the back end to finish on 11th out of 13. And the winner of that race was Modification. Number 13, we're looking at Sorbonne. One start this season in race number 45 over 1100 meters, as Sorbonne travelled 5th till it turned firm and then dropped back and finished right at the back end to finish on 13th out of 13 runners. Winner of that race was Artiste Royale. Number 14, we're looking at Utaka. Utaka's had 2 starts this season, finished on 7th in its first start over 1200 meters. Last start was over the same distance in race number 23, where Utaka travelled 5th till it turned for home, was amongst the front lot of runners, and eventually finished on 4th after much efforts. And the winner of that race was Shivai. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Hope to see you at the races tomorrow. And not to forget, the big day, the big one, the real cracker and a humdinger on Sunday, 12 January 2020, the Calcutta Derby Stakes Grade 1.